All right, welcome to Game 3, the decisive game of this match between KSC and AYAYA. And just like the previous game, KSC, actually, they've made a small change to their lineup, but not a major one. Coming in with double Conquer, double Plymouth, and Zao. We saw that last game. They've made some changes to their destroyer lineup, going Shimakaze and Grozavoy rather than, what was it last game? It was Grozavoy and Yamagiri.
Also, something to point out for that Shimakaze, that Shima is running 20-kilometer torpedoes.
Interesting. My display shows 12s.
Oh, okay. My mod shows 20s.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. What's AYAYA got?
Okay, so AYAYA has an Henri, so no battleships. Henri, Zao, Moskva, Stalingrad, Zorki, Shimakaze, and a
Khabarovsk. So they've definitely got the speed and the flexibility to get around the map with the Zorki and the Haba.
So immediately I can see AYAYA, they've got 5 ships turning right, so they are going to go through B and try and push C heavy while they kite A.
I'm going to be really interested to see these guys try and push a Conqueror, right? Because if you're going to push a Conqueror, you're not going to do it with torpedoes. You're going to have to do it with sustained fire.
We saw the Conqueror go down pretty quickly in the last match.
We did.
That was under Schlieffen.
Exactly. They did that on the back of the Schlieffen secondaries. Not solely, but largely. You don't have that this game.
The question is, can an Henri, a Zorki, a Moskva, and a Stalingrad replicate Schlieffen? Plus a couple of other ships.
The Zorki and the Henri possibly, but the question is, can they hang in long enough, right? It's going to be fascinating to see.
The other interesting thing here, so you've got Zao and the Khabarovsk, so there's no radar, there's no smoke screen. That's purely a
kiting. Yeah, 100%.
So KSC are just going to walk into A, no problem at all. They're going to grab that. So, and then they're going to keep pushing. So now, AYAYA have to push the C cap really, really quickly. Otherwise, they're going to get flanked.
You know, one of the things I also like that KSC is doing, they're committed Morb's Conqueror to the C flank. But JD Red 5's Conqueror is kind of more mid, and he doesn't seem like he's still in a position he can flex wherever they decide they need him. Because, you know, we can see where the Stalingrad and the Moskva are going, but KSC can't. And so they have to play very cautiously at A until they know that they're not going to get 12-kilometer radar and Stalingrad slapped out by one of these Plymouths.
The other thing that's interesting about this mid-Conqueror is that it can see through the gaps in the islands to the south. So although its guns are currently north, it can easily obviously change that, and it can then get those cross shots through the cruisers as they push up through to C. Interestingly, they're taking quite a wide angle there for their BC push.
They are. I think
trying to figure out what's where.
I think both teams are playing very circumspect until they have an idea of what's happening in terms of the AYAYA has to be caught. Like, for all they know, those Conquerors have AP in the barrel, right? Ready to slap them. And a Conqueror is fairly stealthy, if memory serves, 11 and change.
Yeah.
So like, it's the Moskva and the Stalin, I think, the Stalin is for sure less stealthy than the Conqueror. Moskva, I think, is pretty close. But either way, they have to play it very cautiously. And the only ship that KSC can see right now is the Henri. As Floops' the Shimas counterspot each other now down here along the 7-8 line. Oof.
Love Shima takes a big smack.
Yeah,
there.
Love 5 coming off way worse out of that engagement. Floops backing off. He might take some Henri shells here. He does.
Okay. So the question is this AYAYA push going to stall? Because if it does,
they're in trouble.
KSC will just immediately turn around, push into A, and they will be on the flank.
Have they spotted? They can see the Moskva now. So they know at least one of the long radars is not up at A. Raiden, okay, those torpedoes all die in front of him. He's going to go right into A. I think they finally figured out that there's just nothing up at A to stop them. Raiden's driving in, and they're rotating Quicksilver back towards mid.
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's interesting. So they're going to put the Grozavoy in A with the Plymouth to support, and then the other Plymouth's going to go across. I was expecting them to push through, but they're actually not going to do that.
They've got eyes on Hatake Zhao now. Zorky using his fancy fire mode to put some shells downrange. Not really coming up with a whole lot out of it. Taking some Conqueror fire in return.
So Conqueror running its first heal, Morb, on fire. That's going to get most of that back.
Stalingrad shells coming in for Hatake. Nothing doing. But he's got to stay frosty out there. Floop's reversing into the opposing Shimakaze, catching him. He's got torpedoes coming up from his stern now. We know that those are the 20-kilometer torps, so those should be well spotted, but Floop's in a bit of trouble because he's lit and getting shot by everyone. And he's going to have to turn
fire as well.
He's going to have to turn to avoid some of these torps.
Single fire and a broken engine.
He's going out.
Oh, you're going to drift.
He's going to drift into it. Yep. He needed to cut his speed right there, but he doesn't. He drifts into it. First blood goes to AYAYA.
Thing is, if you're watching shells coming in and a torpedo, and
it's tough.
You can't. So
yeah, it's tough to make that judgment call, especially on low HP. You're trying to manage a lot of things at once. Morb might take one of these Shimakaze torpedoes.
Yeah, do they realize they're 20s? That's the question.
He's going to just barely dodge it. It's going to scrape paint off his rudder pintles. Look at that.
I think Morb just experienced that thing that we've already experienced with they'll stop.
Yeah, they'll stop,
right?
where your butt clenches up a little bit, like yeah.
Yeah.
So far, they're holding back the push at sea, but the Zorky, that's Akatsuki, is about to get onto the sea cap, and Quicksilver's Plymouth is going to be right there for him. This is going to be an interesting engagement to watch.
So Morb's heel is about to come off cooldown.
He's done a great job soaking up fire.
There's the heel. So currently 5 minutes for a KSC win. That's obviously going to change once the Zorky steps onto the cap. Now it's an AYAYA win.
They know the Plymouth is there. The Plymouth radar goes out on Akatsuki. Here comes the AP. Big hits from the Plymouth AP. Second salvo going in, and I'm sure the Conqueror guns are getting reoriented to catch Akatsuki while they can spot him. The Zhao shells come in.
So the Plymouth shells didn't do very much, but that Conqueror.
Ooh, Akatsuki getting very low, popping a heel.
Morb's HE in there as well.
Oh, not as much as they wanted.
Not doing that much. Oh,
more Zhao shells dropping in. This could be it. It doesn't. Other Conqueror turrets coming in. They still haven't got him.
The Plymouth radar lasts a long time. He's definitely trying to get out of the radar.
Okay, he's finally out of it now. Quicksilver's smoking. More shells looking for Akatsuki. Are they going to get him blind? Doesn't look like it. But they definitely retain control of the cap as Morb threads more torpedoes. Look at that. Brilliant cap defense by KSC bringing that Plymouth back.
This Zorky he's going to get a bit of health back because
yes,
there's a heal there, but that's on cooldown. It's going to take a little while. So it looks like they might be sending the Shima in while the radar's down.
Well, what I also love is that KSC is continuing to bring pieces back through the middle of the board, realizing that if they can stall this push and make up some time. Ooh, Morb taking some big broadside hits there. But he's running a heal.
Yeah, KSC are just in defense mode now because they've got the two caps. They've got the win as long as they can hold on to the two caps.
Yep.
They've got two enemy destroyers on quite low health.
Smoke coming in now. That's the Shimakaze smoke running into the sea cap. Quicksilver's Hydro might pick up those torpedoes. I'm not sure, but his radar is still 50 seconds away. They can't see the Shimakaze in the cap.
Shion's Henri here is kind of stuck against this island. Flat broadside has taken a couple of big hits.
Quicksilver leaving, Raiden arriving now onto the cap.
Plymouth's radar is back in 30 seconds. Radar out from Moskva. Killer, that's just gone down.
I'm really surprised Akatsuki. There we go. He's just now using a heal. I was like, why has he not used one yet?
Because they don't have Twitch chat shouting heal at them. Heal, streamer. Okay,
Morb
great job of tanking.
Morb once again dodging the Shimakaze torpedoes from astern. His last heal is 20 seconds away. Shells now on the Zorky. They've got eyes on the Zorky again.
Oh, this might be curtains for Akatsuki here. Goes unspotted. Shells in the air from the
Shells in the air from the Zhao. They're going to get him. Yes! Big kill for KSC. They needed that.
Shima is just about to go across the border into the cap. Plymouth's radar is ready.
There's the radar. They can spot him. He's not going to have too many shells for this guy. Just the bow guns going in, but that's going to be enough to push him off the cap and get them a little closer.
The Shima needs to run for the island, and that's probably going to get it killed.
The Zhao shells, the Conqueror shells, they get him. 2 big kills for KSC on the back of the Plymouth radar. Again, words like you, words I never thought I'd say in competitive play.
Okay, Kaba has to push the cap. 1 minute left for a KSC win.
All he can do,
all in.
Yeah, he's basically gonna have to drive up and use that island as cover and just hold the points back, and hope they can pick up a kill. But if you're AYAYA, you gotta be looking for a kill to extend the game. Where are you gonna get it?
Yeah, because they've still got the back cap is still ticking the entire time. So even if they step onto the C cap, they still need to keep killing things.
Now, the AYAYA Zhao, that's 1945, has rotated back. He's actually pushing GM Schwartz's Plymouth a bit, but I think it's come too late. Honestly, if you're KSC, I'd let them have C at this point. They win in less than a minute on the strength of the A cap alone.
Yeah, they can just
pull back now.
Step back,
Yeah.
As long as they keep the A cap, they win.
Yeah, let them have it.
The risk here is that they lose ships, and as long as they don't do that, they're fine. I desperately pushing, trying to find a kill. Looking around the board, I just can't see it.
Where are you going to get it, right? JD's heal is 20 seconds away. Morb is out of heals, but I mean, I'd love to know what his potential, how much damage he's soaked.
I'd love to know what his potential is as well.
I want to know. I'm going to go ask after this because I'm like, dude, I have to know.
Because that's like 5 maybe.
He burned all 4 heals. He went through all 4 heals.
Volleys.
Yeah, and all of that potential damage from all of those Shima torps. He took 0 torpedoes, never once. But he ate 1 billion fires. KSC here, they're going to claim game 3 and move on to the semifinals.
Fantastic. Good job, KSC.
Solid win.
Commiserations to AYAYA, but they did really, really well. We saw them go through earlier against Shaft. They had a fantastic match against Shaft, and so not an easy victory for KSC.
No, very not. Like, they had to work for that, right? But man, what a great win for those guys. They looked really good, and I'm excited to see that double Conqueror strat actually produce a win. Right? I feel like they might have been able to pull that off on Northern Waters. It just couldn't quite get it to come together. A little bit of bad luck, a little bit of bad position worked against them. But here on Tears of the Desert, man, did it come together nicely.
Yeah, I'm totally surprised. Like,